Resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared, along with
Brian Held.
Brian, what's it? You couldn't hear me over there,
No,
pal?
I couldn't hear you at home, man. I didn't know what was
Get your
going on.
stuff together. What's wrong with you? You had a rough day. You had a rough weekend, pal of mine.
I had a really good weekend, and it ended on a high note today. I just have to say thanks to all the folks over at the Bad Wolf Bar and Grill who, Alicia... It started a new foundation called the Bad Wolf Foundation to raise funds for the geek and nerd community here in New Orleans, and I was the first beneficiary due to the government shutdown.
Oh, how sweet.
Yes, that was very, very considerate. And so thanks, everybody. I'll post to Facebook all my thanks later when I'm off the air. And I also wanted to mention, I tried to keep it as a surprise for you, but I couldn't.
Me?
Yeah.
A surprise?
Yes, tonight is our 300th episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, so pretty excited about that. Quite a milestone. Not that you care about those nostalgic type things.
Not particularly, no.
All right, you ready to lay out the show?
Sure. As always, we'll open up with top nerd news, and then we have our boy Skungy with his pick of the week, and then we have a special guest in studio.
We absolutely do. He's the host of Globalive Media's Beyond Innovation, which airs weekly on Bloomberg Television around the world. Michael Bancroft is in studio with us right now. He's studying some notes to talk about in his guest segment at about 7:30. So we'll get to that. And then, of course, we'll close out the show as we always do with This Week in Geek History.
But first... And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, Brian, what's topping us off tonight?
So you wanted to talk about this new Starship Troopers TV show idea that's coming out.
I would like to know more.
Well,
I would like to know more.
I'm not sure how I feel about this, man.
What? Why?
Well, didn't we get like 50 movies that, half of them went straight to DVD?
All right, we got four.
Four.
We got 4 movies. They had a cartoon that was really friggin' awesome because it was actually based on the book. It had the skinnies and everything in it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Get your head out your butt.
Yeah, no, I only watched the first one, which I do like the first one from a very beer and pretzel sort of view. I know our boy Joe Parton absolutely loathes and despises the movie.
Who cares what he thinks?
Yeah, so, they're trying to get the original cast back together. So, Casper Van Dien, Denise Richards, Neil Patrick Harris, those guys to do this live-action series. I think it's still in the development phase right now.
Neil Patrick Harris will be the most pricey person on that guest list.
Probably, yeah.
I'm sure we could get Casper to come on. He'd be more than happy to do it.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't know. I think it would be funnier if, you get to see more about the world, though, because, I mean, they just only kind of scratched the surface. I mean, they didn't really do a whole lot with it. And I think a TV show could do it better, maybe do a little bit justice for it. But I mean, what would you do? You couldn't really bring back the redhead girl because she got killed.
Oh, Dizzy.
Yeah, she got killed.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was looking through this article here, and did you know that the original got an Academy Award nomination for Best Visual Effects?
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
I want to know more.
Well, clearly they didn't win, but.
It was a fun movie. I liked the first one. It was so funny though too when they're all running around with their stupid helmets that don't really fit on their heads. And are you trained to fix the Mark I helmet? It's a helmet, sir. Nope, that's it. You're fired. So,
yeah,
I don't know. But I'm more interested in some of the other TV shows that we could get coming up. Resident Evil,
right.
So that one. Look, Resident Evil 2. Skungy's going to be talking about that in the next segment, right?
He is, and I actually have a history element related to Resident Evil.
What?
I know. It's a theme running through the show.
I would like to know more.
Yes. Yeah, they don't want to do a new movie with this. It fell through. James Wan backed away from producing a reboot last December. And so it looks like...
I don't blame him.
Right.
Look... I mean, the first Resident Evil was sort of okay. The second one was a little bit better when they were in Raccoon City. At least it felt more like the video game. But then they just went way off the reservation, man. I just don't know where the hell they went with it later. But I mean, it's a great premise. I mean, that it was such a great game. I don't know. I think it would at least be interesting, and that's something where I kind of feel the same with the Starship Troopers. I don't think you really need the old cast. I don't think you really need to even bring back, Jill Valentine and whatever the other dude's name was. Just see. There's other stuff in there. There's other Stars people or Raccoon City PD. There's all sorts of stuff you could do.
Well, and it does look like they want to focus more on the Umbrella Corporation and kind of delving into that. I think that's kind of interesting. I don't know. It's been so long. I played the original Resident Evil on a original PlayStation way back in the day.
Well, I did too, but I bought the remastered version, and that was fun, man.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. Now, what I'm really, really excited about is apparently Carl Urban is working on an Amazon comic book series called The Boys, and anything he does, I'm on board for.
Oh, my God.
No, he's not my new man crush.
Oh, okay. Good for you.
No.
Look, I like him too, but I mean, this one looks like it reminded me almost a little bit of Wild Cards to an extent. Only just that the superheroes are kind of like revered and loved, as opposed to, I guess the boys would be like the Jokers almost, except that they're not deformed.
I think that a more recognizable reference would be Mystery Men, to a degree, right?
Oh, the boys would be the Mystery Men, the crappy superheroes?
Yeah, because, I mean, the boys that are set up in this series don't have powers. They're just like blue-collar folks who are trying to fight against these super-powered individuals that are set up as the paragons of this Earth that they're, And they're like, no, they're really bad. You just don't see it. And they're trying to fight against them, and it looks incredible. The trailer just dropped.
They double-dip their chips, those bastards.
Right. But, Carl Urban is totally involved in this. Dennis Quaid, Jesse Usher. It looks, I'm super excited. You can go check that trailer out. Did you pull any audio for that?
I did not.
Okay.
I mean, you had the girl from The Adventures in Babysitting and from Back to the Future 2. Can't remember her damn name. I don't know why I'm blanking on it. But, I mean, it was just her kind of saying what we just talked about. Like this company, this mega $1 million company just kind of sort of, I guess, runs the world and does spin control for all these superheroes. I mean, one of them looked like, in the video, it looked like the Captain America style guy was like an old timey revivalist preacher, like one of those creepy preachers that sets up a tent and then starts dunking people for cash.
Well,
it was weird looking.
There was the guy who had an actual American flag as his kid.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. And you made me think of something. I wanted to mention it earlier. Garth Ennis is behind this. It's based on a comic book series, and of course, he did Preacher.
Oh, well, I one up you there, sir. Mike Kripke is going to be one of the showrunners. He runs Supernatural.
Nice.
Which has, 15 seasons under his belt? So I think the guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, no, this looks like
Eric Kripke.
all aces. There's
it was a wild card reference. I see what you did there. What's
Yeah.
next, buddy?
Matt Smith looks like he's going to be starring with Jared Leto in a Marvel spinoff called Morbius.
God help me.
What?
I hate Leto. I hate Leto with a passion. I don't think he could act his way out of a freaking paper bag.
He
sucks.
I liked him.
He sucks on ice.
You didn't like him in Blade Runner?
I liked him in nothing.
Okay.
He sucks.
I liked him in, was it Blade Runner 2049? I thought he did a really good job kind of in the beginning there.
Tell him to go back to playing music.
Okay.
Call his agent right now.
He can't play the Joker, all right? I'll agree on that.
He can't play nothing.
But this is interesting. So Morbius is a Spider-Man villain, so,
Yes.
we're going to have Sony.
I have a Christmas story with Morbius. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. It was a Halloween book, Spider-Man, a little pop-up book.
Oh, cool.
Where Morbius is the villain. It's great. I have no idea what it's apropos to absolutely nothing we're talking about.
But he's
But they used him.
Yeah, no, but for those who don't know, he's the living vampire. He got some sort of bloodborne pathogen or something that
he was a blood doctor or whatever, trying to cure himself and turn into a living vampire. I mean, it was one of those cheesy villains who, he got a short run of comic books, I think 45 comic books a while back, and it was I think it was in the 90s, so of course it was very goth and the brooding guy in the bar, always sitting in the corner, staring longingly at the girls and making them uncomfortable from afar.
So
that's Morbius.
Considering your stance, don't you think Jared Leto is the perfect person to play this role?
Absolutely not. Because you would have to act broodingly. He can't brood.
Okay. All right.
Sucks.
Fair enough.
You're trying to pick a fight with me.
No,
Jerk face.
Not at all.
What's next?
Great news for New Orleanians. Kevin Smith has confirmed that his new Jay and Silent Bob reboot movie will start filming February 25th here in New Orleans.
Nice.
Very excited, Dave. We have to do everything we can to sneak on that set.
Do we have to try to break up the movie?
Oh,
how dare they? Because, I mean, it's a reboot. Yeah. Reboot? Don't talk to me about reboots, right? Brian.
Maybe you and I can dress up like Blunt Man and Chronic and just kind of sneak in.
We could.
Yeah.
We could totally do that. I'm down for that. We can destroy the movie. I'm all for that.
Come on now. We don't want to destroy the movie. You just want to get in there.
No, you want the media credits. You want the little IMDb entries. I want to destroy stuff, Brian.
Geez,
I'm not a creator. I'm a terror downer of stuff.
You're terrible is what you are.
Yes, I am.
But no, I'm very excited that they're going to be down here, and we'll see whatever we can do to sneak in there.
And we did not talk about the people who are going to be Bacchus and Chewbacca.
Right. So Supernatural star Jensen Ackles is going to reign as the king of Bacchus. Very excited, are we? Yes.
I named my kid Dean after Dean Winchester. Of course I love this. Yeah. I love this choice.
And then, of course, also the Walking Dead actor Ross Marquand, which I'm trying to book for next week, is going to be the king of Chewbacca. So
yes, Aaron from Walking Dead, he had the first gay kiss in Walking Dead.
Nice.
Yeah.
So nerds, are rejoicing this Mardi Gras because we're totally getting some awesome royalty.
From what I've seen and heard, because he's done a bunch of the Comic-Con tours, that he's one of the cooler people who's just he'll talk to you, not one of those just like all right, $20, take your picture, keep it moving, yeah. move along, nothing's here.
But no, I'm excited, and of course, are you going to watch Chewbacca, or you're going?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing tonight, Brian.
All right, that's fine. I will be marching with the crew of Really Awesome Parodies. This Chewbacca.
Crap.
Yes, that's their name.
No, I should be going to the Chewbacca. I should be there.
Yeah, no, that's cool. All right, are we ready to roll out for a break?
Sure. Crap, Skungy's calling.
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to have our boy Skungy and his pick of the week. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Boldly going where no bar has gone before. The Bad Wolf is a bar, restaurant, and game shop all in one. You can't beat our specialty drinks, fresh food, and a variety of RPGs, board games, and miniature games for sale or rent. Stop by and hang out, or attend one of our regularly scheduled events, all in a non-smoking environment. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill is located at 2010 O'Connor Street in Gretna, or find us at badwolfbar.com. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill, where everybody knows your game.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Mata Hari, Agent H-21, is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H-21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H-21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Belle Chase Highway today.
Now, back to the Week in Geek with local celebrity Brian Held, hashtag LCBH. Here are your hosts, local celebrity Brian Held, and that other guy, what's his name again?
Welcome back. This is the Week in Geek with D Squared, your stupid voice guy, along with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian, it's your favoriteest time of the show.
Oh, Skungy's here.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by GameStop and ThinkGeek.com.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
He might be an idiot savant.
Skungy, what's shaking, bacon?
Not a whole lot. Feeling a little bit from last night, but hey, still doing good.
A lot of people on the Facebook Lives were like, geez, you were a little lit up. Yes, we were.
Yeah,
we left video graphic proof.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we, all three of us, and Don Cooper, our staff photographer, were out at the HauntCon Halloween and Party Expo down here in New Orleans, hanging out and having a good time. They had a party with an open bar, and we indulged a little bit. So,
just 1 or 2 or 14.
yes.
Something like that.
All right, what are we talking about, Skungy?
We're talking about Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
Now, Resident Evil 2 just got a remake that came out this Friday.
Nice.
So Resident Evil 2 is a game that is now marking, it's 20 years ago, about 20 years ago that this game came out the first time.
God, I think I literally played it. What was it? You had to play it like 6 times, 3 times as the girl, 3 times as the guy, and then it would unlock something else. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was like that was unique about it. There were 2 branching stories where different things happened if you played with Claire Renfield or you played as Leon Kennedy. So, you know, they do the same thing here. Now, the cool thing about this game is that we got to admit it, in this day and age, we're getting a lot of remakes and remasters and everything like that. And a lot of them, they may not necessarily do it well. This one does, though. This is not a remastered. This is a remake. They've completely updated everything. I mean, it's got modern graphics and controls. It's remade from the ground up.
Dang. So, I mean, did they change any of the storylines, though? Is it the same storyline, or?
They've added a couple of things here and there, but for the most part, it's what you're familiar with. Now, I don't want to give it away because it's a really, really good story.
Yes.
The acting in the voice acting in the game is really good. It's actually to the point where like Claire and Leon are kind of one dimensional, where all the supporting characters really are where you get your really good performances out of.
Mm-hmm.
But this game it's got unbelievable lighting effects. And I got to say, these are some of the best looking zombies that I have ever seen in a video game.
Really?
Yeah, they're really, really, I mean, just the like I said, when the lighting, because the game is really, really dark. It's really, it's really hard to see.
Yeah, well, the camera
have,
angles.
Flashlights.
Yeah, and the camera angles, too.
Well, the camera, you can control the camera angle. It's, they didn't do that old Resident Evil where you walk into a room and it's like, all right, well, it's a fixed camera. No, you completely control the camera.
I don't know if I like that.
You can, but it does make the game a little bit easier, but it also makes the game a little bit more, spooky, because you can actually look around at stuff that you couldn't before.
All right.
And see the details of the environment.
Is it full of like jump scares?
Yes, it has a lot of jump scares.
Yeah. But if you go down one hallway 2 or 3 times, eventually zombie arms start shooting through the windows. It's like, you're walking along your happy way. You've already gone up and down this hallway 4 or 5 times. So you're like, hey, nothing's going to happen here. But like the 5th time, it's like, brah! You're like, what the hell's going on?
Right.
The windows crack in, 10 zombies come through.
Yeah,
like, what
sons
happened?
of biscuits.
It's got this inventory management as well. That's the thing about the Resident Evils. This is a survival horror game. You don't get a lot of resources. You're going to have just enough ammo, just enough health, like upgrades to get through.
Okay.
So you can't. You gotta play. You gotta play it. Smart. You can't just go through guns blazing. You gotta know when to fight, when to run, and whatnot. But man, like I said, it has got an unbelievable atmosphere to it, and they've updated some stuff to make it more for a modern design. For instance, you've got maps that you can look through and see when if there's stuff left in the room to loot, instead of, did I get everything? Did I not? Now you're going to know for sure. You don't need ribbons to save the game. It really sucked before because when you would go to save the game, you would have to have this typewriter ribbon.
That's the best part, Skungy! I like the stupid click, 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 click typewriter, and you needed to find a ribbon. I hated the fact that you had to waste an inventory slot to get said ribbon, because then you couldn't carry any extra herbs or any bullets or a gun or a knife. So, god dang it, why do they keep screwing with my childhood? Okay, I'm better.
If you play it on hardcore mode, you still need the ribbon.
Yay!
Nice.
Suck it, world.
Is any of the narrative different, Skungy?
Like I said, like I told Dave, a little bit is different. They've added this, almost like the nemesis from the third one, where you have this big lurking character who's constantly trying to come after you.
Yes.
It can get a little annoying with that, but it's not as bad as the nemesis. I hated the nemesis in 3. I thought he would come into the room and you'd use all your ammo for him to go away, and then you walk around a corner and one single zombie will, kill you.
Yep. That's why
the zombies in this one are hard. Like, you have to unload 3 or 4 headshots just for them to go down.
What?
Yeah.
Got to make it challenging, Dave. Come on, you played through you played through it once already.
I know, and I even played through it once with just a damn knife.
All right.
Because I am a hardcore SOB.
Because there's not 12-year-olds on the end of those zombies.
Exactly. Yeah. They're slow, lurching zombies.
So yeah, each campaign is going to be about 8 hours for each person.
All right.
The only kind of drawback is that there's not really a lot of difference between the two campaigns. There are different things here and there, and there are different unique characters that you'll meet and have side missions with, but it's not as much of a difference as I'd like for 2 separate campaigns.
All right.
But it's still got enough replayability that you want to play both sides of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that really differs from the first time. I mean, it was interesting to see, because I mean, I'm not 100% sure on this, but I think it was like one of the first times you got to kind of see in a video game what was going on opposite when your main character was doing stuff. Because, when they got split up with Leon and Claire, at some point, you didn't know what was going on with Claire the whole time. And I liked playing that second campaign with either one or the other. And you got to do things almost kind of sort of not in reverse, but you knew
a different perspective.
Right. So it's you're like, oh, I know Leon's right on the other side of that door, and I just can't get to him because I can't. Somehow I don't know how to open a door.
Yeah,
so
and what cop station, a police station that sits there and has a jade key, a crest that opens up a door. Who made this police station?
Somebody who was really good at labyrinths or something. They wanted to make sure that the ordinary criminal couldn't get out. So it was probably a prison for supervillains.
Or it's part of the Illuminati.
It's supervillain prison. Supervillain prison.
So, Skungy, you mentioned that it was 8 hours per campaign. Does that include all the side content?
No. That's it'll probably be pushed more towards the 25 to 30.
Okay.
So if you run through it, it'll be about 8 hours, but you can get through it a lot. You can get through it if you actually take your time, which is the way that you should in one of these games. You can go a lot slower and draw that out.
Do they still have if you start the game and you only use your knife till you get to the police station, you can go to the locker and get a new costume?
They have a whole bunch of different costumes
that
you can get for so many different ways. Some of them you can download and buy. Some of them you do it through special things. I mean, it's a Capcom Resident Evil game. There are all kinds of secrets that you can get.
Yay. Okay, I'm happy.
All right. That's cool.
All right, price and platform.
It is going to be $60. It's on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Not sure on the dirty PC yet. I haven't gotten
up yours,
but
Brian.
It's on those two definitely. And there's also a deluxe edition that comes with some extra costumes and weapons and whatnot. And that one is $79.99. and it came out this Friday.
Man, I hate that.
Yeah, well, you got to pay for that exclusivity, Dave.
It's not exclusivity if you're paying for it. I mean, any Joe Blow with $20 can buy it.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing exclusive about it. Just it's the rich people club versus me, the blue collar club.
Okay.
Or the Saps club. The suckers.
Yeah, that would be that too.
All right. Anything else going on, Skungy?
No. The next week is probably going to be a review on probably the most anticipated game of the last 10 years, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wow. Yes, so many people are excited about that.
And they're going to have a hotel where you can use a Kingdom Heart sword as a key. Yeah.
What is that, in China?
Yeah. In Japan, they just announced that.
Cool.
See, look at that.
Yeah.
And now you know.
And no one's half the battle.
Yo, Joe. All right, green laser. What is it? Red lasers, blue lasers, 50%. And then what? Or
violence is the other 50%.
Yeah, it's 25% blue lasers, 25% red lasers, 50% knowing.
Yeah. Yes, there we go. See, math sucks.
There you go.
All right, Skungy, guess what? You're fired. Get out of here, man.
Made it so long. I had a great track record going.
You did, but you're fired. Get out of here.
So, Dave, do we have a Bad Wolf commercial coming up?
We do. What is it? Time for like Irish car bombs or something?
Yeah, they're going to be pouring shots here in a minute because all the guys over at the Bad Wolf who are listening right now, and there is a listening party every Sunday when our show is on. You get free shots every time their commercial airs, and they're all blowing up my phone right now. So, guys, you're about to start drinking, and stay tuned because when we get back, we're going to have our in-studio guest, Mr. Michael Bancroft. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Boldly going where no bar has gone before. The Bad Wolf is a bar, restaurant, and game shop all in one. You can't beat our specialty drinks, fresh food, and a variety of RPGs, board games, and miniature games for sale or rent. Stop by and hang out or attend one of our regularly scheduled events, all in a non-smoking environment. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill is located at 2010 O'Connor Street in Gretna, or find us at badwolfbar.com. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill, where everybody knows your game.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Bell Chase Highway today.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
My name is Optimus Prime, and you are listening to The Week in Geek. Autobots, transform and roll out!
Welcome back. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm D Squared along with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian, it is guest time.
Absolutely. So joining us in studio is the co-host of Globalive Media's Beyond Innovation, which airs weekly on Bloomberg Television around the world, Mr. Michael Bancroft. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Now, this is a momentous occasion because you guys have hit 300 shows, my understanding. That is a big deal.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think it's completely hit me yet, and Dave's kind of.
I know he's very nostalgic. I heard so.
I keep mementos for everything. I'm like,
I'll celebrate for you. 300 shows in anything is huge. So well done, guys.
Thank you so much. So you are all into tech journalist, right? Producer, and so what is the hottest thing in tech right now? Let's start there.
There's a lot of things happening in tech, but I think that the thing that scares people the most, and I think the most relevant right now, is data security and how much we're on our phones, and then what happens to all of that activity while we're on our phones, and we don't really think about it. And so we're on our phones constantly. So, of course, that creates data. Now, I want to throw out a number and kind of blow your guys' minds. 2.5 quintillion bytes of data is created every single day.
Wow.
It's a big number.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's inconceivable for us.
It is. It's like, I know I'd never heard of it until about 12 months ago, and it sounded like a lot. And then I was wondering, it's like, what happens to all of that data? And that's exactly what's happening. People are trying to work out, using artificial intelligence, how to extract useful pieces of information and then use that to make money and make more efficiencies within their companies in all kinds of industry.
So you bring up an excellent point, and we could go in about 10 different directions from this, but I read an article recently, and I met at random a IT security guy, and he mentioned that 2019 is going to have a serious problem with the Internet of Things and the potential compromise to security. I mean, what's your take on that?
Yeah, so there is, but there's amazing companies out there that their sole job is to spot hacking attempts and to put preventative measures up and really help secure data. When it comes to the Internet of Things, I'm more concerned with the lack of infrastructure. So you've got to think about all of those devices being connected. What are they connected by? And so we're talking about the wireless communication networks. And so we're looking at, we're hoping that 5G rolls out and does it well, but, some people still don't have the other generations of infrastructure. So people are getting excited about 5G, and then they're like, oh, this is going to pave the way, and the latency is going to be less, and the speed's going to be better, and we're going to have these connected, amazing cities. And I'm thinking, I'm lucky if I get 4G at the moment in some places. So there's kind of, I'm more concerned about the infrastructure as opposed to security and data first, because I don't think we're there yet.
Well, and America is absolutely behind from a broadband perspective compared to other countries, right? I mean, there's so many rural locations that are lucky if they had DSL. Right. I mean, I know folks that I used to play streaming games like World of Warcraft with who were relying on a cell connection.
Oh, they would be so angry.
Oh, yeah.
They'd be yelling at the screen, but for the wrong reason.
Right. And they had to manage their cell bill. Like, we can only use so much data because we need to devote that to just be able to stream this game. So, no, I could totally see it. Well, I mean, are folks like Verizon and AT&T doing anything to bolster the infrastructure that they have? Or, I mean, because there is a crumbling copper infrastructure out there. I mean, what's the deal with fiber right now?
Yeah, so the thing is, it's like, and we've traveled around the world, and even as my home country, Australia, I was there for Christmas and New Year, and there were and their big, large communication companies were touting how amazing they are and leading the 5G charge, and there's a lot of companies doing that all over the world and in the US. But again, I don't see it when I travel. It's like something as simple as, in New Orleans at a hotel, the how slow and the internet and how it drops out and all of my devices. It's just something as simple. You take it for granted until it goes and you get used to it. So it's like, but I can be at a truck stop in the middle of Canada at a Tim Hortons and get perfect, amazing Wi-Fi. Like,
wow.
It blows your mind.
Yeah.
And then you go somewhere else and, you have to pay however much it is for a daily use of internet. And then it drops out and it's not fast and you can't watch, streaming YouTube, or you can't play computer games or anything on it, really.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
So I guess we could sort of segue a little bit into, we're talking about security. You mentioned, I guess AI to try to help resolve some of that. cryptocurrency kind of plays a role a little bit in that because of all the blockchain technology that we have out there. I mean, as far as a replacement currency, it's real rocky, but I mean, blockchain is real solid, right? I mean, can you talk about that?
So it's interesting because we hear these buzzwords about cryptocurrencies, and people that don't really understand the trading side and the investing side, they're like, oh, people are making a ton of money on that, and it's like, well, I'd be very careful because you're absolutely correct. What's most important there is the technology, and why it's important is because blockchain technology can authenticate data, and it's more secure. So when they work out that chain of data and authenticate it, then there's real application. There's real value there, especially when it comes to transactions in the financial institutions and that important data that we hold on to. So blockchain technology is exceptionally important, but again, nobody has actually cracked it to that degree yet. So it's in its infant stage. So I think that there's value in blockchain technology.
Right.
I would absolutely warn everybody, if you're going to invest in cryptocurrencies, also be prepared to lose it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, are banks buying in on this stuff as far as from an infrastructure standpoint?
Yeah, so there's developments. It's interesting because obviously you see fintechs popping up and making it easy to transact and transfer money much faster internationally than banks. But the problem is with these companies, they don't have that brand, that kind of loyalty, that trust. And so what you're seeing is banks also then need to be able to be nimble and innovate. So what they're doing, they're either partnering or buying out the fintechs so they can actually move forward and use that technology because they don't have it themselves.
Do you see a time when cryptocurrency is going to replace fiat currency?
I don't want to make a big call like that,
Yeah.
but I would put it like this: the more currencies you have, or the materials used to trade, if there's far more choices, it's the same as the fiat currencies now.
Yeah.
So obviously some are more valuable than others. So I don't know. It's like with cryptocurrencies, the more we have, I see the less valuable they become. Like in theory. Okay. So, and I don't see it completely replacing it. No, not in our lifetime, unless something, but obviously we can go to like robots are going to take over the world and the apocalypse is coming.
Right.
So
he knows the truth.
So, because sometimes I think about that when I am interviewing these people and you see what they can do. But I don't think that we're going to be losing our current way of transacting and buying and purchasing things with fiat currencies. I don't see that disappearing anytime soon. And we've seen like the massive fall in cryptocurrencies, and there's no real it's so unstable.
Yeah.
I would be it'd be crazy to think that that's where we were going to head.
It's funny because Dave and I have role played for many years, like Dungeons and Dragons type stuff. There's a game system called Shadowrun that uses cred sticks, instead of
it's a form of a token or a currency.
Well, like right here on our station, Gregory Ricks and Associates, they talk about Bitcoin all the time, but he's a money manager, and that's all he does. And he's like, look, he always tries to push people off of that. He goes, if you want it in your portfolio, I'll go get it for you, but it's not a safe investment at this moment. So a lot of money managers really just don't want to touch it yet. But I mean, what they don't want to touch today, that might change, even months from now.
Right. And you have to have a diversified portfolio.
Right.
It's interesting, though, because when you talk about gamification and you talk about gaming, it's another world. And there's so much to be made because they are making they are making their own ecosystems. The amount of money that they make through it and what you can buy and trade, it's smart. Like if you actually add in a token and you start to have to work within that world and transfer real money into, and you can only buy and purchase using that token. It's exceptionally smart from a gaming perspective.
And we saw a bit of a rebellion and a pushback from the market, though, too, with EA games, with Star Wars, with buying bundles that actually had game effects for people to give somebody, in-game enhancements. But like Fortnite, it's all cosmetic stuff. But I mean, it's like a printing press of money.
Yeah, it's every parent's nightmare.
It is. My 12-year-old, oh my gosh. I'm like,
But think about it, it's genius because if somebody can work out gamification for education, suddenly you might have higher retention. I'm just putting it out there. It's
Yeah.
It's like, but if you think about the fundamentals of what they're doing, because people are like, oh, they're on their screens the whole time. Yeah, but when you think about some of the stuff they do for playing games, it's like you're playing with other people and you have to work as teams, and some of the fundamentals. And I know people are going to like freak out when I'm saying this, but if you think about some of the things, your responsibility, you have to earn the money, then you have to purchase the things that you need. Like there really is some strategy to it, and I do think that there is some development that's happening that's on a practical level for kids.
No, I can totally get that.
I mean, you definitely see a lot of problem solving, and just they attack things differently and I've seen him use that kind of gamer mentality in real life. So there's a lot.
So imagine when you
there.
put in the education component, and somebody works out how to do the same way of playing games, but learning something, and that would be mind blowing.
So many schools, at least in this area, and I know across the country, where they use much more electronic, the whiteboards and just things like that. And most classes all just have pads now. I mean, it's just something that we used to kind of joke about with Star Wars. Oh, we have a data pad. Well, that's we're living it now.
Oh, absolutely. Now, we do have to get to a break here in a minute, but did you go to CES?
I didn't go to CES because I was in sunny Australia.
Okay.
So I was on the beach, and I was working for anybody else who needs to know where I was.
All right.
So I didn't go to CES, but I am aware there was a lot of new technologies there. And it was interesting because, again, we saw a lot in autonomous vehicles and that kind of development.
Right.
And also a lot of technology that I don't think we actually need. There's a lot of stuff being developed that no one's asking why.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting this year at CES. I saw a lot of whys as opposed to wows.
Okay. Interesting. Well, what's your number one coolest tech thing that came out of CES this year?
So CES, what I like about it is they, again, in autonomous vehicles, they were really using technology to further the development of autonomous vehicles and making it safer, and the technology of identifying all of the objects and surroundings around the car. And I thought that was really interesting because, again, we've Skyrise is a company that we've interviewed on the show before, and these guys are one of the first for autonomous taxi in the sky. So that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
And what they're doing is they're using helicopters, so existing helicopters, and then adapting the technology. They haven't removed the pilot yet from the actual helicopter, but the idea is eventually down the road they could, and what they're servicing at the moment is emergency services. So you think about how quick a response to go. And so eventually, like you think about all of the traffic that you have to deal with on the ground, eventually we can alleviate that and it'll be up in the air.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I saw something on that where it's like the idea is they put all the helipads kind of on skyscrapers, like in Los Angeles or Chicago or New York, and so that way, like pedestrians would take an elevator up to there, and then just bada bing, bada boom, and so then you've got subway, you got surface level streets, and then we take over the air.
Yeah, and you think about how much space is available once we go. Off the ground. Yeah. So from a congestion perspective, I think that's interesting. Obviously, there needs to be protocols and safety, and before everyone again freaks out. But we already use helicopters. We already use airplanes. So again, we're also going into drones, and drones, they're looking at laws and where they can fly and the paths and all of that kind of stuff. So obviously that needs to be worked out. But again, what's interesting is how far they've come, and they're already using autonomous tech, that automation within helicopters. And so again, I think that's going to happen a lot faster. And they're also smarter. They're not building from the ground up. They're using existing technology. They're using existing vehicles as opposed to building from scratch. And so I think that's very smart too.
Well, and I think we'll be all right as long as we don't get Bruce Willis as a taxi driver in this environment, right?
Fifth Element?
Yeah, there you go.
I like that reference. Thank you.
Yes. All right, well, you don't mind sticking around a little bit after the show, right?
Absolutely, I'll be here.
All right, cool. Well, Michael, if you would let folks know how they can keep up with you and all of your insights on technology out there.
Yeah, you can find me anywhere online on all of the major social channels, but mostly Instagram and Twitter. So you could do mbancroft80 on Twitter, and then actually my full name, Michael Julian Bancroft. I was one of those annoying things. I couldn't find a handle, so I was like, I bet no one has this.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for taking the time, and we will have some additional podcast content for those folks after the show. Guys, stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to have our segment This Week in Geek History. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktitans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends. Boldly going where no bar has gone before. The Bad Wolf is a bar, restaurant, and game shop all in one. You can't beat our specialty drinks, fresh food, and a variety of RPGs, board games, and miniature games for sale or rent. Stop by and hang out, or attend one of our regularly scheduled events, all in a non-smoking environment. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill is located at 2010 O'Connor Street in Gretna, or find us at badwolfbar.com. The Bad Wolf Bar and Grill, where everybody knows your game. Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Bell Chase Highway today.
Welcome back to The Week in Geek. Don't forget, you can listen to previous episodes on the iHeartRadio app at The Week in Geek Radio Show. Here are your hosts, D Squared and Brian Held.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek. I'm D Squared along with
Brian Held.
Now, as always, we want to strongly urge you to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio and the Instagram's The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you missed any part of tonight's show or you want to catch your favorite part again, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, and
Your Mama's House.
There you go. Man,
Stop talking! You're stepping over it.
This Week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future! Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Da-na-na, da-na-na. I'm sorry, Brian. What were you trying to say before I so rudely started this song?
No, it's fine. I'm still jacked up. This has been an incredible weekend, and the guys at the Bad Wolf really got me good. I'm really thrown off right now. So, first item on my list, January 21st, 1942. New York Mayor Fiorello Henry LaGuardia bans pinball games in New York City, comparing them to slot machines and labeling them games of chance.
It's the devil's playthings.
It is. Thousands of the machines were busted up and dumped into the ocean, and over 7,000 pounds of scrap material from the machines, including 3,000 pounds.
It wasn't just sticking it to organized crime, though. I don't think there was any goodwill pointed there. I think that was just like, I'm going to stick it to the organized crime family, take the city back.
Right.
I don't know if it worked for him, but
yeah, it's probably like the comic code.
It must have. They named an airport after him.
Right. The ban continued through 1976. That's kind of crazy. Better watch those games of chance. Oh, jeez. All right, here's the one I referenced to earlier. January 21st, 1988. Capcom releases Resident Evil 2 for the PlayStation in the United States.
Yay.
So, yay. Yeah, we talked about it with Skungy.
We
did. All right, moving on. January 22nd, 1984. Sees the first episode of this series starring Jan Michael Vincent and Ernest Borgnine. It's Airwolf.
Oh, God. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. No, and that was during that time with all those cheesy like MacGyver and Knight Rider and all that kind of stuff. And I just remember being a little kid and so excited, but hearing the theme music and seeing the helicopter and it was blowing stuff up, and that was a lot of fun.
Good times.
Good times.
What's next?
January 23rd, 1985. I should have got you to pull the theme music for this. This sees the beginning of the television series spanning for 5 years. It's Thundercats.
Oh,
there you go.
There we go.
Next on my...
What about Thundercats Go?
Oh, God.
Did you like that?
It hasn't released yet. Hopefully, it will never release.
What?
Yes.
Well, what about She-Ra, Princess of Power? They rebooted that.
That was different. It was actually paid homage to the original series.
Look. Angie, my producer for the D-League, she despises it.
She didn't see it, though.
She doesn't want to, and she's a hardcore She-Ra fan.
Well, look, you can't say anything.
They are destroying her childhood, Brian. How dare you?
Look, I sat through Batman vs. Superman, and I can fairly say that it was bad. You can't say it's bad if you don't watch it.
Wait, what? That does not correlate even remotely. How does Batman and Superman compare to She-Ra? Where are you getting that from?
Mere fact of the fact that I saw it, therefore I can state what I thought about it. If she hasn't seen it, then she can't say anything.
You can see promos for it. You can see trailers.
It's not enough.
It is visually unappealing to her. How dare you?
That's fine.
Yeah, see? Shut up and talk.
January 25th.
Shut up and talk.
2004. The Mars rover Opportunity lands on Mars, and what's interesting is they just updated. It's been 15 years. It went silent. They had a storm on Mars. It covered all of their all the solar panels.
Yeah, the solar panels. The same,
yeah. So they're hoping though that it'll get cleaned off at some point and regain connection.
Dude, they build stuff to last what they put on other planets, man.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. There are more robots on Mars than, it's just like the most populated extra planet from Earth.
Some alien race is going to stop by and they'll be like, why is everybody leaving their trash on our place, man? They're going to be pissed. Just so you know.
Yeah.
We need to at some point go over there and pick it all up. Like community service hours, you got to go pick up dead robots off of Mars.
Right. All right. This last one I put in here because you hate it.
Oh, thanks. You're the best.
Yes. January 26th, 1994. Premiering with the first episode, Midnight on the Firing Line.
Friggin' Babylon. Stop with the Babylon 5 crap.
I love Babylon 5.
You are making this up because you just talked about the first episode of Babylon 5 like 4 shows ago.
No,
you check your notes. You're cheating. You are cheating.
I am not cheating.
You're just bringing this crap up every month just to piss me off. That's what you're doing.
Have you watched Babylon 5?
Deny it.
These are in my notes.
Have you watched She-Ra?
I have watched.
See? Bringing it back full circle.
Yes. All right. Birthdays?
Yes.
All right. On the 21st.
She-Ra.
No.
Okay.
Boo Boo Stewart.
What?
He was
She-Ra's boyfriend?
No. He was in the Vampire Diaries. He also played Warpath in X-Men Days of Future Past.
Oh, that poor guy.
Yes. On the 22nd, John Hurt. Of course.
Everybody hurts.
Yes. He was in all kind of great stuff. Lord of the Rings, Elephant Man. He was the War Doctor. On the 23rd, Richard Dean Anderson.
Yeah.
Love that guy. On the 24th, Matthew Lillard. He was serial killer in Hackers. If you remember that old movie.
Oh, my God.
Yes. But you know what he does now? He voices Shaggy.
Yeah, no, he was like in 13 Ghosts. He was in a bunch of stuff, man.
Yeah.
I liked it. He was in Scream.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved him in Hackers,
He's a great
though.
character actor.
He is. Let's see, on the 25th, Hartley Sawyer. He was on The Flash as the Elongated Man. So,
just apropos to nothing.
yeah.
You're stretching now. You're just grasping for straws
He's
now.
a geek actor. It's cool. And on the 26th, Ellen DeGeneres. How about that?
There you go. Bringing it back homeschool.
There you go.
Oh, Brian, are we done here, Brian?
We are. Next week, our guests are going to be the Overlords from the intergalactic crew of Chewbacca, Ariana Gamble, and Brooke Etheridge, and I'm trying to get Ross Marquand for some extra content. So.
Just an FYI, we are still going to be boycotting the Super Bowl here in New Orleans, so double fingers to the world. I'm going to be down with the New Orleans bounce icons, just tearing it up over there on Fulton Street.
Boycott Bowl, right?
Boycott Bowl, baby. We got Chopper Style, Partners in Crime, Fifth Ward Weaving is going to be awesome. Ricky B. Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
Walton and Johnson, making mornings great on News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM, New Orleans. An iHeart radio station.